population density was very low in Africa. Now as population has been growing, now there are interconnection between local people, livestock, and wildlife. Now they are all interconnected. We are all mixed. We are sharing the same habitat and sharing the same resources. And now when you look in the past, how we've been approaching the issues of health, for instance, it's like medical doctors we address the issue of public health in a narrow perspective of people. Veterinary doctors, we address the issues looking just the issue of livestock and domestic animals. And now we have realized that there are some diseases that are spreading between human, wildlife, and livestock. And to address that, we have to take the holistic approach. And that's what is good about studying ecological economics, and what's good about being at the GAND. It's like it teaches you how you understand the issues, and then how you start to analyzing issues, and then you take a holistic approach, and also a collaborative approach to address those issues. Because there is no a single doctor who will address public issues, public health issues, without collaborating with conservation biologists or without collaborating with veterinary doctors. I'm from Rwanda, which is a tiny country located in the central eastern part of Africa. It's a country that has the size of Vermont, and it has a population of almost now 10 million. I came here with a background in conservation biology. But knowing what GAND was doing and the new field of ecological economics, I was interested in coming and work with John Erickson and Bob Costanza, especially for the work they are doing. And my interest in ecological economics is the way of taking a holistic approach to environmental issues. When I was working before I came here, I was managing a country program for the Wildlife Conservation Society in Rwanda. And as I said, Rwanda is the most populated country in Africa with 10 million people. And when you look around protected areas, the population density is about 300 to 500 people per square kilometer. So that means you can't ignore people. Sometimes we take conservation as an opportunity cost, meaning that we lose the opportunity to do logging, to do mining, but natural or healthy ecosystems are important to the health of local communities or local people. And I strongly believe that it's an investment in natural capital. And for the sustainable development, even for achieving the Millennium Development Goals in Africa or any other developing countries. So I don't take conservation as a luxury. I take it as one of the pillars of economic development in Africa. When you do conservation in developing country, it means you are deciding to set aside a land that has been used by local people, and you decide to make it a protected area. That has some social and economic implications, especially for countries where there is no infrastructure to support local people in terms of healthcare, in terms of water, in terms of all other social needs. So they go in the forest to collect firewood, medicinal plants, and mushrooms, food, plants, everything. So when you decide to create a national park, there are some social and economic implications with that. When you see people are resistant, don't take them as hooligans or they are bad people. Take time to explain what you are doing, why it's important. And And again, important, it may be not important now, but in the future, it will be important. At local scale, you can say, look, we have cleared this forest. Now look at the flooding. We are losing clean water. We are losing electricity because there is no water to supply the hydropower plants. So now people are thinking about, there have been approaches of community-based conservation. And now people are talking about market-based conservation, where you can have market for carbon, market for water services. And in some countries, people have been trying to market a national park in terms of ecotourism. People, they go, they view mountain gorillas, they see chimpanzees, and they pay some money. But the critical issue so far has been, how do we allocate that money to make sure local communities, they get the shares of the benefit? And that's very critical. And for countries that has high corruption, it's still a problem. But again, people are trying to find some innovative solutions. And there's no easy answer to these issues of community poverty and biodiversity conservation. Yeah, the emotional part of the job I'm doing is sometimes you are working in the context where you see extreme poverty and people, they just depend on natural resources from the protected area or from the forest you are managing. And you are forced to tell them, don't go in that forest, knowing that there's no alternative. There are many actors or many partners working to address conservation issues or to address development issues or health issues. And all those issues are interconnected. Ideally, people should sit down and have a shared vision. Once you have that shared vision, you know, what do you want to achieve? What do we want to achieve for a specific country in the next 25 years? And from there, we can see how we can channel all our resources together. But still, we work in an isolated manner. Health specialists, they address their issues in their own way. Conservationists to address our issues on our own way. And development experts, they address development their own way. But again, all those issues are interconnected and they affect the livelihood of people and environment all together. I spent 5 years trying to address these issues and I'm happy. I'm done with my PhD and I'm hoping that the knowledge I have now will help me to address the issues of conservation in Rwanda and in Africa in general. Okay, I passed.